So, I had a very strange Starbucks experience today. The Starbucks right next to the Taco Bell, as I hit Vacaville, is a different sort of Starbucks. Now, I know that there's corporate and franchise. There's sometimes you'll find a Starbucks where 4 or 5 of them are owned by the same person, so they're a little weird, a little different, whatever. I kind of feel it's like the Del Taco in Vacaville is one where the prices are always higher than whatever they're advertised. Like everywhere else, Del Taco has a buck and under menu, but they charge $1.29 for everything that's a buck and under. So it's their $1.29 and under menu, except it still says buck and under because that's what the corporation sends them signage as. So I digress. The Starbucks that I went into, first off, they have something going on where Lady Gaga has some sort of foundation that has something to do with sex and bullying, which is probably not as much fun as it sounds. Because sex and bullying sort of sounds like, I don't know, like a scene from Wild Orchid, or a pulp, novel from the 50s with detectives and gun-toting dames and such. But no, it's for every time you drink one of their signature drinks, they'll donate 25 cents to Lady Gaga's foundation that has something to do with bullying and sex. I'm not sure entirely what it's about. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Lady Gaga's foundation is in favor of sex and not in favor of bullying. I mean, that's really the easy stance to take. It's kind of a rough sell to be like, no, sex, it's terrible, no one should have it. Bullying? We should bully everyone. Yeah, that's not gonna work. My problem was, and the girl was so passive aggressive. She's like, you look like the sort of guy who'd really want to help. I'm like, what? Why is that? I'm thinking. Someone asked me one time, they said, look, you're a smart guy, and I've seen you do things rather quickly. Why is it when people ask you questions, it takes so long to answer? And I think it's because immediately when someone asks me a question, there's the insane response. There's some part of my brain, I guess maybe it's like pre-filtering, that just takes in stuff people says, and a lot of times it's really funny. Like, there was a typo in an Audible forum today, a description of a book, and it said that the protagonist had to unravel his past. But it said instead, he has to unravel his pasta past. I am sure that it is merely a typo. That they do not mean that he has to unravel pasta. And I'm not entirely sure what one's pasta past would be, unless you worked in, say, a Chinese restaurant making noodles. It made no sense. Nevertheless, it was funny. I think it has something to do with me being mildly dyslexic and the fact that I still read well. I think my brain just does that. So when she said, you seem like the sort of guy who'd like to help out, I was immediately thinking, is she just saying that because that's how she gets people to buy the super fruity, stupid drinks? Or is she saying I look like the sort of person who was bullied? Or is she alternately saying that at this later stage of my life, I feel guilty for all the people I've bullied up till now, and here's a way for me to seek redemption? Yeah. My other problem was, all of the drinks on the Lady Gaga list seemed like they were made by someone who would design Lady Gaga's clothes. There's the pink drink, the purple drink, honestly, each one of them should just be called refined sugar, poison me, and give me lots of caffeine. However, the weird thing about this Starbucks is it's also one of these signature stores, which means they do things slightly differently, and now they no longer use artificial sweeteners. They are using, I guess maybe they had high fructose corn syrup in them before or something, and now they're using ones that have sugar. They're still sweeteners, but they're more natural, and the one girl said that they were much more like oils. So I had them put vanilla in my iced coffee, and man, let me tell ya, that was it was a very warm and very vanilla-y, not a good word. It was a very vanilla coffee drink without being overly sweet. It was sort of a rough macho vanilla. Like if you were going to have some sort of, situation where you're going to be attacked and you needed a coffee drink to defend you, aside from the, Toshiro Mifune mocha, you would want this vanilla drink to be your wingman, because it was an ass-kicking vanilla drink, is really all I can say at this point.